Welcome back to another episode on Photoshop Basics series on Webtrickshome. Today we'll be learning about all the shape tools and their options in Photoshop. We'll also look at the remaining utility tools on the tools bar below the shapes tool. And to keep things interesting, we'll learn to create a custom shape and also try to give one of the shapes a 3D appearance. Let's get started. So you can see the shapes tool right below the path selection tools group in the tools bar. Right click on it and you can see a couple of shape tools there, namely rectangle tool, rounded rectangle tool, ellipse tool, polygon tool, line tool and custom shape tool. We'll go through each of them one by one. You can also hit the key U from the keyboard to select the shapes tool and then hold the shift key and hit U to toggle between them. Let's start with the rectangle tool. And with the rectangle tool selected, you can see the options on the options bar that we have already seen while learning the paint tool. But if you see the tool mode, you'll find the pixel option also available with the shapes tool. We'll see that in a short while. Let's revise the shape mode first. You can define the fill color from here and the stroke color from here. Then you've got the stroke size, then the stroke style. And with the shapes tool, you can define the width and height from here. Now click on the document area and you can see a dialog box pop up with the same width and height dimensions. Hit OK and a rectangular shape of the same size will be added. You can modify the size from the options bar if you want a definite width and height, or simply transform the shape to make it larger or smaller. Then you can also use combine shape option to add more shapes in the same layer. And you can see only one shape layer is there on the layers panel, but you have two shapes on the document area. You can also subtract areas from an existing shape like this. Or you can also opt to keep only the intersected areas, removing all other areas. Or you can also exclude the overlapping areas. Then you can also merge all those shape components into a single one rather than having separate paths for each of those shapes. You can see all the shapes here had individual set of paths initially. But once you merge them all into one, you can see one single set of paths here. Alright. Then you have got alignment options to align multiple shapes in relation to each other here. If you select more than two shapes, you can also distribute their height or width equally. You can also opt to align the shapes to the canvas as well. And you can see the result here. Then you have got the reordering options for overlapping shapes. You can select any shape and place it on top or below other shapes. Got it? Let's get back to the shape tool and see the other options. And you can see here, we have got some settings here where you can define how you want to draw a shape. The unconstrained option allows you to draw a rectangle without any restriction. If you selected the square option, every time you draw a rectangle, it will be restrained to a square. You can also hold the shift key to draw any shape with equal width and height though. You can also define a fixed size, type in a value, let's say 300 pixel by 200 pixel. Click and drag and you can see a rectangle of the defined size is added. Or you can simply click on the document and hit OK on the dialog box that appears. You can also define a fixed width and height ratio to create rectangles here. Let's see the from center option then with a square. And what it does is basically center aligns the shape at the point where you click to create it. Then you have got the path mode that will add a rectangular path instead of a shape. All the options on the options bar remain the same. You also get the option to use the path to create shape or selection too. Then the final shape mode is the pixel mode. In pixel mode, the foreground color on the color swatch is applied as the fill color. You don't get any other options. And if you drew it in the background layer, you won't be able to move it. If you worked on the other layers, it looks movable. Let's add one more shape and then try to move it. And you can see the shape is not moving independently, instead the layer is moving. This can be used to fill colors on images while restoring them. You have got the blending option along with opacity, anti-alias and shape constraints for the pixel mode. Easy, right? Let's have a look at the rounded rectangle tool then. And with the rounded rectangle tool, all the options on the options bar are the same. You get one more option, namely radius, that defines the roundness of the shape at the corners. Higher the value, more rounded will be the corners. If the radius value is greater than or equals to 50% of the length of the shape, a circle will be created instead if the width and height of the rectangle are equal, or else an oval shape will be created. Let's see the ellipse tool then. And with the ellipse tool too, you get the same options on the options bar. You can create an ellipse or a circle with this tool. Then you have got the polygon tool that allows you to draw polygonal shapes. The constraints here allow you to define the appearance of the polygon, and the sides option allow you to define the number of sides or points on the circumference. Alright, let's go with 5 with the existing settings on the constraints as they are. And you can see the output. Let's take all of the constraints off and draw again. And you can see the result here. Let's delete these and add new polygons here. Let's create a smaller one. You can also define where the points should be pointing on a polygon. Simply move your mouse clockwise or anti-clockwise for that. You can also define the radius of the polygon. Let's set it to 50 pixels, and that will restrict the polygon to a fixed size. And if you go with smooth corners, the points won't be sharp and the shape will look more like a circle. Let's make it a bit bigger. Check the smooth corner off to get a polygon. You can remove the radius value to draw a polygon without size constraint. If you go with the star option, you'll get to define the size of indentation along with the option to smooth out the indents. Let's see it without smooth first. Select the smooth indent option to get a more rounded star. You can also define the indent size to make the protruding parts shorter or longer as well. Increase the number of sides to get a different type of star. You can also simply click on the document and get all those options on the dialog box to create a polygon. Alright. Let's clear up the document and see the line tool then. With the line tool, you can draw lines in Photoshop. The weight defines the thickness of the line. On the settings gear, you get the option to add arrowhead at the ends of your line. You can also define the width, length and concavity of the arrowhead in percentage of the line width. Alright. The concavity value can be anywhere between -50 to 50%. Let's clear up the workspace and see the custom shape tool then. And with the custom shape tool, the constraints will be the same as the rectangle tool. You get an additional option to select custom shapes from the library. Click on the drop down arrow to see the library. You'll see a couple of shapes here. Click on the gear icon to see other shapes. You can see the list of shapes at the bottom. You can even download custom shapes from online resources and load them from here. If you want to see all the shapes you have, click on all. You can add those shapes to the existing list or replace them. Let's hit OK, and you can see all the shapes available in your library. Select a shape. Hold the Shift key to draw the custom shape at its original ratio. And you can see how easily you can add shapes beyond the regular geometrical ones in Photoshop. Let's clear up the workspace. Now you have seen the custom library, but you didn't find a shape that you'd like to use regularly on your designs. You didn't find anything close to it online as well. Then what can you do? Well, you can create your own custom shape and save it in the library. Then you can use it easily in the future. Let's have a look on how we can do that. Since it will be an irregular shape, I'll select the pen tool. Let's go with the black color fill with no stroke. Keep in mind you can create shapes with any fill color, but it will be saved in black and white. You'll need to keep all the shapes in the same layer with Combine Shapes option. And if you need to add white color within the shape, you'll need to add another shape and subtract it from the existing one. Once done, With any of the path active, you can go to the Edit menu and select Define Custom Shape, or right-click on the path and select the same option from there. Give it a name. Go to Custom Shape tool. And in the drop-down, you'll see a shape at the end of the list. Select it. And you can hold the Shift key and drag it on your workspace, maintaining the ratio. Fill it up with the color you like. And you're done. Let's look at the remaining tools too then. The first one here is the hand tool that allows you to scroll your canvas left, right, top or bottom when zoomed in. You get the option to scroll all active windows along with the options to see the canvas on actual size, fit screen, full screen or print size. You can hold the spacebar and click and drag the canvas to scroll though. Then you have got the zoom tool to zoom in or zoom out. You get the option to resize the active window to fit as well as zoom all windows. You can select scrubby zoom to click and drag to zoom in or zoom out as well. You also get the option to see the canvas on actual size, fit screen, full screen or print size. You can hit Ctrl or Command key with plus or minus to zoom in and zoom out as well. Ctrl or Command key with 0 will make the canvas fit to screen, while Ctrl or Command key with 1 will show the actual pixel size. Then you have got the foreground background color swatch and the toggle key here to toggle them. You can hit X on your keyboard to toggle them as well. Then you have got a quick mask tool that you can select with Q from your keyboard. Make any selection on your canvas and select this tool to work on the quick mask mode. Select the brush tool and paint with white to increase the selection area, or paint with black to decrease it. Release the quick mask mode and you can see the selection is refined. Then at the end of the list, you have screen modes. You can select any one from the standard screen mode, full screen mode with menu bar or full screen mode. You can toggle between them with the F key as well. So that's all about the Photoshop tools in our Photoshop Basic series. Let's try to add 3D appearance to one of the shapes. Let's select the Custom Shape tool and select a shape. I'll go with the star. Right on the canvas. Let's change its fill color to something close to golden. Duplicate it and place the bottom one inside a group. Select the layer and with the move tool selected, hold the Alt or Option key and hit down the arrow key to duplicate the layer and stack it. Once you are happy with the thickness, select the gradient adjustment layer. Select the color you want to apply as a gradient. And clip it to the group. And you can see how easily we can add a 3D effect to the shape. Let's group all of them and rotate it a bit to give a different perspective to the shape. And moreover, you can distort it to produce another look. And now you can see how easy it is to work with the Shapes tool in Photoshop. Well, that's all for today. I hope this video really helps you to learn Photoshop to a greater extent. Hit like if you found this video useful. If you think you have got some ideas that can help me produce more better videos, share it through the comments. Let me know what you feel about the video through the comments as well. Thanks for watching and please subscribe us for more videos. Thank you.